Hey guys, today we're talking ABT the scariest cult stories of all-time, learning about the sexual, physical, and psychological abuse that took place in various infamous cults will seriously send shivers down your spine. Let's get into it, shall we? 1. NXIVM. If you thought cults were a thing of the past, think again. Keith Raniere started NXIVM, pronounced NXIVM, in 1998, positioning the group as a self-help organization with workshops and classes on empowerment. NXIVM amassed more than 18,000 followers across North America until 2017, when NXIVM members came forward to expose the abusive practices of a secret society within the group. Women were recruited under the false pretense that they were joining a sisterhood of sorts, but it ended up being a sex cult. A pyramid scheme existed within the group, with Raniere, who members called Vanguard, at the top, Masters, who recruited other women to the secretive group, and at the bottom were the newest recruits, who were referred to as slaves. 2. Children of God. Initially called Teens for Christ, Children of God was founded in 1968 by rogue preacher David Berg in Huntington Beach, California. Attracting young runaways and hippies, Berg preached a kind of worship that combined the ways of Jesus Christ with the free love movement of the 60s. Group living, zealous proselytizing, and isolated communes were all pillars of the Children of God Church. Members, who amounted to 15,000 people across the world at its peak, didn't work or go to school. The COG didn't believe in the nuclear family, so children were grouped together and lived separately from their parents. In the late 1970s, COG became notorious for the sexual practices that one of Berg's own daughters later described as religious prostitution. Although Berg died in 1994, while under FBI investigation, the Children of God cult continues to exist and now goes by the name Family International, although the group claims that the horrific practices are a thing of the past. 3. Church of the Lamb of God. Dubbed by media as the Mormon Manson, the Church of the Lamb of God was started by Ervil LeBaron in Chihuahua, Mexico, after he clashed and left his brother Joel's sect. LeBaron convinced his followers that he received direct instructions from God, which included using an abandoned Mormon doctrine, blood atonement, that allows the killing of sinners to cleanse them of evil. LeBaron had 51 children with 13 different wives, and over 2 decades amassed hundreds of followers, who allegedly murdered more than 20 people on behalf of LeBaron and his orders. Mexico authorities arrested LeBaron in 1979 and handed him over to the FBI. 4. Angel's Landing. Angel's Landing is the name of the 20-acre compound outside of Wichita, Kansas, where Lou Castro and a small group of people lived an inexplicably extravagant life in the early 2000s. Castro's followers were convinced that he was an angel and a seer who could look into the future and know when you were going to die. Already suspicious of Castro's luxury vehicles and money that no one could explain, local law enforcement took an active interest when Patricia Hughes, a member of the Angel's Landing community, tragically turned up dead on the compound in 2003. Then, when Patricia's husband died in a freak accident in 2006, local detective Ron Goodwin dived into every bit of personal and financial information he could find on the people living at Angel's Landing. What he found was disturbing. Expensive life insurance policies were taken out on people in Castro's circle and cashed in by members when someone in the makeshift family accidentally died. This pattern occurred around every 2.5 years, but the detective couldn't find any records for the mysterious leader Castro. That's all for today, folks. Subscribe to MJFacts for more chilling content.